Hello everyone, today I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different from my usual videos. I'm going to be showing you the process of how I print and cut my photos for my family journal using the Silhouette machine. So if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I've been using a Hobonichi cousin as my family journal. I ordered this in July and I received it on July 27th, I believe, and that's when I started filling this out, but I'm also in the process of backfilling it for the first half of this year. So just to quickly show you what it looks like, I'm using the yearly page as a one line a day just to highlight kind of what happened that day, and then on the top I plan on doing top 3 things that happened that day at that month, and then also at the bottom I'm going to be doing photo of the month. And then if we go to the monthly portion, I've been doing photo of the day. Mostly it's my kid, and I'm in the process of backfilling it, so I'm almost done with January actually. Just have a little bit more to go, but I'm basing the information on my 5-year Hobonichi journal that I've been keeping pretty consistently, so I can always reference that to see exactly what happened, and I always have a lot of photos, so it's not that hard to go back and then check the timestamp. So this is July 27th, and that's when I started filling it every other day. So this is just photo of the month. It's really cute to see that at a glance and see how my son is growing. So going into the weekly portion, I've just been writing down sort of what happened that day according to the timeline. Sometimes it's according to the timeline, sometimes it's not. But sometimes I do fill it out throughout the day since I'm home, but if I don't get the chance, then I just refer to my notes and then fill it out at night and look at my photos and just like to see what happened at what time. So that's been really fun. And then so here I'm backfilling the journal with photos that I took before, and I've been doing really well filling in my journal. So it's mostly photos and some comments for each photo, but this has been really fun. I actually really look forward to doing this every other day. I just collect photos and then do it all at once, just because the Hobonichi Cousin is an A5 size planner, so 2 A5 pages will fit onto 1 letter size, so I try to just print 2 days at a time when I'm printing the photos. So now I'm gonna go to my computer and show you guys exactly how I do that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to import all of our photos that we want to use in our family journal into our computer. Here I'm showing you a dummy folder that I created to show you how I organize my photos. So we are in the year 2020 and the current month is August. So I have created a folder for each month within the folder of 2020. So now I'm gonna go into that folder for August, and I tend to do this exercise once every 2 days because the Hobonichi Cousin planner is an A5 size planner, and 2 pages of A5 size paper can roughly fit onto a letter size paper. So I try to conserve paper and do this every 2 days. So in that last folder for August 20th through 21st, I have already placed all of my photos that I want to use in this tutorial. In that folder, in this video, I'm going to be using my planner photos from my Instagram account, just so I don't have to use my family photos in this tutorial. So you can see that most of the photos are in JPEG format except for that first one. The first one ends with HEIC, and that just means that it's a live photo taken from iPhoto. For those of you who have iPhones, when you see something like that, you don't have to convert it. You can still drag it directly into the Silhouette Studio software without any issue, so you don't have to go through the exercise of converting those live photos into JPEG format. So now I am creating a folder for August 20th and then one folder for August 21st. And then I'm arbitrarily dragging half of the photos into one folder and the rest into another. Normally I would be dragging in the photos for that day into the correct folder. This way I can easily see which photos belong to which day when I'm dragging them into the Silhouette Studio software. So now I'm gonna be opening up the Silhouette software so I can drag these in and place them onto the sheet that I'm gonna be printing. So the Silhouette machine that I'm using is Silhouette Cameo 4.0, and I highly recommend it if you're just trying to print and cut stickers and just doing some simple cuttings. I definitely recommend it. I think I really like the software compared to the Cricut. So when you open up the software, you'll see that there is a blank piece of paper placed onto a mat. And the first thing you want to do is you want to turn on the registration marks by going into that right toolbar and clicking on under registration marks. So these registration marks just help the machine to see exactly where it's supposed to cut the stickers. So you will also notice that there are some hatched areas on that white piece of paper. You try to avoid those areas when you're placing your images onto the sheet, because when you have them overlapping with the hatched areas, the machine won't cut as accurately. So I dragged in that first photo here into the Silhouette software, and then I clicked it, and I'm trying to resize it to a much smaller size so it can fit onto the page better. So for this, for Hobonichi Cousin, I like to set the unit as millimeters instead of inches, just because I am going to be cutting out a photo of the day on the monthly page, and I want to be very precise with my measurements. So that's why it's in millimeters. But for all the other photos, I try to set them at 50 millimeter width to start with. And don't forget to lock the ratio so that you can make sure that your photos are sizing correctly, scaling down correctly. So you only have to do the rescaling once, and I just copy and paste them over and over. Most of my photos tend to be vertical instead of horizontal, but occasionally I will have some horizontal photos, so I'll show you how I'm doing that later. But here I'm just dragging in all of my vertical photos into those boxes. They serve as templates, so it's very easy to drag them in. This photo is actually a horizontal photo, so I'm just gonna do that from scratch and drag that into the software, and then set the ratio to 70 millimeters width-wise. So that looks like that, and then I have two more images to drag in, so I just copy two of the images again, and then I am dragging in, hold on. Now I'm trying to drag in those last two photos. Whoops. Yeah, so I dragged it into the wrong box. So I'm trying to do that again. I don't know, sometimes when I'm trying to show people have to do something, I tend to mess up just because I'm thinking too hard and trying to figure out how to best explain what I'm doing. So now everything is in their correct places. And obviously the images are way too large because this is only for one day and it's filling up the entire page. So I'm just shrinking that down a little bit by selecting all of them and then readjusting the location so that the photos take up about half the page, because we still have to fit the next day onto this page as well. So I copy some of the photos down so that they can serve as a template for me to drop in the images from August 21st. So again, most of my images are vertical, so it's very easy to just drag into its place and everything is automatically scaled correctly. Again, those were dragged into the wrong place. Okay. And then I just have 2 more to go at the bottom, so I copy those 2 over. And I just drag in those last 2 photos. When I'm not speaking, when I'm not trying to think about how to show you guys how to do this, it actually goes much faster. But as you can see, it's not a difficult process at all. We're actually almost done with the software portion of it. But before anything, before you move on, make sure you save this file. I clearly didn't do that at the beginning. You should really do it before you make any changes so that you can constantly save as you're working on this, just in case it crashes or your computer crashes, but for any reason, the power cuts out, whatever. So now I am just readjusting the images a little bit to make sure that they're not overlapping with the hatched area so they can cut more correctly. So now everything looks pretty good. And I just have to select the photo of the day for the monthly spread. I am going with, I think, the stacked planners on that bottom left corner. And the first thing I need to do is I need to create a cut line that's precisely the size of the box on the monthly spread. So the dimensions are 33 millimeters wide and 26 millimeters tall. So that's the box that I created, and then I just lay it over the image, adjust it to where I want to cut, and then here I'm trying to find a space to fit that in. So sometimes I want to show that photo both on the monthly spread and also on the daily spread. So this is why I copied the same image twice. And then here, because we only need the portion where the red box is, I sent that image into the back so that the other images can just sit on top of it. So we don't have to print the whole image. And I can find a good, it can have a spot on the page. So that's the photo of the day for August 20th, and now we have to select a image for August 21st, and I go with that red planner image, and then I just copy the red box over to and then now I'm readjusting the image a little bit to show exactly what I want in that box. And now that's over, you just have to draw some red boxes as cut lines on the rest of the images. I'm not very precise when I'm doing this. I don't really care if they're all the same sizes. You won't be able to tell when you have all of them cut. They are all going to be a little bit different, but it's not like you're lining them up. It's up to you. If you want them to be exactly the same, obviously you just copy the red box over and over and lay them on top. But otherwise, you can just be like me and just draw some red boxes over the photos. So now I just have 2 more to go. And then I am done. So now all the cut lines are complete, and I just saved the file just in case. Then all you have left to do is to print and then send it to cut. But before I do that, I try to go into click the send button, and then I want to just make sure that all the cut lines are in the correct places. Nothing is sitting weirdly in the middle of the page. I have had that happen before, where I copy the red box and then somehow drag it over to the middle of the page, and I didn't even know it until I finished cutting. So I just want to make sure everything looks correct and my cutting setting is correct too. So now I go back to design, and I just print and cut this file, and I'll show you what it looks like now. So I have just finished printing and cutting my photo stickers. So one tip I have for you guys is I try to always use Scotch tape to tape down the corners. I do find that when I do that, I get more accurate results, because I feel like maybe because my mat is tilting a little bit, the corners tend to lift up, and then when the machine is scanning the registration marks, it's not as accurate, and then sometimes I do get offcuts. So that's just a tip I have for you guys, but otherwise it's pretty simple. I don't cut out the outside. It's just kiss cutting all of the individual photos. So let me peel this off. Now, put that away. So that's what it looks like. You can see the cut lines here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my the pages I didn't use to show you guys how I normally do this. So let me go to, oops. Okay, let's do December, sorry. So the first thing I would do is I would peel out the photo of the day, which is this image right here, and also this image right here. So this was supposed to be for, hold on, so it's a little bit hard to do. Okay, so this one is supposed to be right here. So you can see that that's a pretty nice fit right there. And then this piece right here is meant for the 21st. So that's how it would look on your monthly if you choose to do that. So now let me go to a daily page to show you what it looks like. Okay. So now let me go to February because I haven't used these pages. So the top half is for one day, and then the bottom half is for the next day. So normally I try to go in the chronological order. So the things that happen in the morning would go on top, and then things that happen towards the end of the day would go on the bottom. So I'm just assuming that these are in chronological, sorry, I can't talk today, order. I just start from the left corner. Oops. So one thing is, if you want to be able to shift the photos around, you might want to just run your finger on it a few times so that it's not as sticky. Okay, so just go like that a few times, and then it's much easier. So I just do this really quickly. Like I'm not really planning out the layout or anything. So I just tape that throughout the page. I don't really care if it's perfectly straight or not. So just like that. And then maybe I try to offset this a little bit. Like that. And so that's it for this day. And then the following day, again, I always start from the top left, but it's totally up to you. Only because I don't like to see the numbers, so I try to cover that up. Do this. Again, I'm not really planning out the layout at all. This is normally how I do it. I don't really plan anything out. So we're almost done here. Yep. So yeah, that's it. As you can see, this was really simple. At least to me, I think it's much simpler than when I was using HV Sprocket or Canon Selphy, just because all you do is just peel and stick. You do have to go through silhouette, of course, but once you get used to it, it's very, very fast. And I like that you can customize the size of the picture to the monthly boxes. So I'm able to do photo of the month like this. So let me show you. Again, I just love being able to see all of that for the month. It's just, I get so much satisfaction looking through my memory keeping journal now. So this is really fun. I hope that was helpful for you guys if you are looking for ideas for how you should plan out your memory keeping book and how you should organize each of the sections if you're looking to use the Hobonichi cousin. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.